When someone died in your band, you didn't have a funeral home to call. No priest, no ceremony pre-planned and ready to execute. No cultural script telling you exactly what to do next. You had maybe 20 or 30 people, a body, and the weight of a loss that hit everyone at once. So what did they actually do? The first thing almost universally across ancient human groups was that the body was not left alone. Not for practical reasons. Not because of predators or disease, though those were real concerns, but because something in the ancient human mind refused to treat a person who had just been alive as simply an object to dispose of. Anthropologists studying modern hunter-gatherer groups that maintain ancient practices consistently find the same behavior. Someone stays with the body. Always. The dead are watched. Then the group gathered. Not organized, not summoned by a bell or a phone call. Just gathered, the way people naturally move toward each other when something enormous has happened. And what followed looked, in many ways, like what still happens at funerals today. People talked about the person, they told stories, they touched the body, they expressed grief loudly, physically, without the modern instinct to contain it. Archaeological evidence fills in details the anthropology can't. Burial sites from as far back as 100,000 years show bodies positioned with deliberate care. Knees drawn up, hands placed near the face, body oriented in specific directions that appear intentional rather than accidental. Some sites show red ochre or red pigment sprinkled over the body, a practice so widespread across unrelated ancient cultures that researchers believe it carried symbolic meaning far older than any known religion. Objects appear too. Tools, beads, food, placed with the body not as waste, but as provision. As if the dead were being sent somewhere that required supplies. This is the detail that changes everything, because ancient humans didn't just dispose of their dead, they prepared them for something. We can't know with certainty what they believed happened after death. They left no written theology, no doctrine, no explanation. But the behavior itself is a kind of language. Preparation implies destination. Care implies continued relationship. Red pigment on a body implies the color of life being deliberately applied to something from which life had just departed. These were not people who thought death was simply the end. They were people who believed or hoped, or needed to believe, that it was something else. The grief itself was communal in a way modern societies rarely experience. In a band of 20 to 30 people, everyone knew the person who died. There were no strangers in the group, no distant acquaintances sending a card. Every single person present had a specific, daily relationship with the one who was gone. The loss rippled through every part of daily life immediately. Who would hunt, who would gather, who would watch the children, who would tell the stories that person used to tell. Mourning, in this context, wasn't a private experience squeezed into a few days of bereavement leave. It was woven into the fabric of daily life for weeks, sometimes months, reshaping everything. The group had to rebuild itself around an absence. And then, slowly, life continued. It always did. Because that was the other thing ancient humans understood about death perhaps better than we do now. It was not unusual. It was not a malfunction. It was the most predictable thing in the world. In a life without modern medicine, without antibiotics, without surgery, death came often and came early. Children died. Young adults died. Death was not something that happened to other people in hospitals, behind closed doors. It happened here, among us, again and again. And so they built something to hold it, not a building, not a religion with written rules, but a set of behaviors, passed from generation to generation, that said, when this happens, this is what we do. We stay. We gather. We grieve together. We prepare the body with care. We place something beside them for the journey. And then, when we are ready, we continue. The first mourners weren't performing a ritual. They were doing what humans have always done when something is too large to carry alone. They carried it together.